Alright, I'm trying to stream on this app. Bear with me. It's the first time I'm really using this app. It says I'm in here. Alright, so I'm just gonna start speaking again. I'm using the smaller memory this time, so it should work. So what I was getting into before I cut out was polarity. All right, polarity, unipolarity system that America has dominance over all these other countries. All right, so unipolarity is America having complete dominance over the rest of the world, not just America, but bear with me, man. Any country having complete dominance over another. And bipolarity is when you have a rising country that's basically about to share that dominance, which is China. And it says here basically that the current international superpower dynamic is transitioning from a unipolar system with the United States as a center to a bipolar system with China occupying the other side. And I mentioned that China's economy is flourishing, man. They project that within the next 10 years, China should be leading militarily, economically. And when it comes to militarily, something called first strike capability. This is going into nuclear war. First strike capability is when a country basically decides its arsenal should be used to knock out an opposing side's nuclear arsenal. So they're not shooting at your houses. They're not shooting for your cities. They're shooting for your nuclear arsenal, because World War III is suicide. A thermonuclear war is suicide. So you can't knock a country for not really wanting to get involved with that. It's suicide. They call it MAD, mutual assured destruction, for a reason, because all destruction is mutually assured. Everybody, majority of people is gonna be wiped out, man. That's how strong and powerful these nuclear weapons are. So first strike capabilities is what America has, that China doesn't have, that Russia has, that is trying to take out your arsenal. The problem is, if you're shooting at an opposing country, what happens when that country's ally starts shooting at you? You literally have to use you're talking about using your weapons to destroy every single nuclear weapon out there. That is the tactic of first strike capabilities. That is the best idea of nuclear war that these countries has come up with, mainly America, is that the only thing we can do is to try to defeat their arsenal, so that when they finally attack us back, it'll be so weak that hopefully the whole U.S. won't be destroyed. It's not gonna happen, man. They're creating nuclear missiles daily. All right, nuclear warheads daily. Faster technology, quicker technology, more stealth technology. It's only getting worse and worse, man. Meaning the technology is growing vast. The capabilities, the guidedness of these missiles, the tracking systems, they're getting better. Now, second strike capability is a country's assured ability to respond to a nuclear attack with powerful retaliation. That's what China has, all right? But we're getting into the fact of this world becoming bipolar, meaning China's influence is starting to grow. America's influence is weakening, man. And again, I don't know if this is actually streaming live. It should be, but I can't confirm it at the moment. All right, so I'm just gonna keep going. Now, here's some topic is the Most High overrules over human affairs. And human affairs, the Most High, they created it, man. You think he just created us and left us to our own demise? All right, it doesn't work like that. He has his hand in everything. Genesis 31:29 says, "It is in the power of my hand to do you hurt." That alone says enough. It is in the power of my hand to do you hurt. So it's up to the Most High. The Most High says he's going to decide. He's going to decide who gets hurt and who doesn't, man. What country is next, and what nation is next, and what nation is going to fall. And what nation will replace them? And he tells, and it's said in 2nd Ezra 6 and 9 that Jacob is a form of all things to come. Esau is the end of the world. The Edomites are ruling currently. We in the reign of Esau, the Edomites. What does that mean? That the Caucasian or the so-called white race are the Edomites. Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And the Most High isn't going to establish them. He says he's going to pluck them up. He says, hey, it is in my power to do you hurt. He's going to do the Edomites hurt. His people are the Israel, man. The Israelites. Negroes, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native Americans today. All right? And he's redeeming us. He's going to buy us back. He's going to give vengeance upon our enemies, man. He's going to establish us through his son, Yahweh Shai, his first begotten, with the eternal kingdom on earth. That's what the kingdom of heaven is. That's what heaven on earth will be. Genesis 45 and 5 says, now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves. This is Joseph talking to his brothers, that ye sold me hither, because Joseph was sold to, I believe it was Ishmaelites who sold him to Pharaoh, the Egyptians. All right. It says, for the Most High did send me before you to preserve life. The Most High intervenes, man. The word is providence. When the Most High intervenes, it's called divine providence, protection. The Most High set Joseph up to be there in the land of Egypt. Genesis 45 and 7. And the Most High sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So now it was not you that sent me hither, but the Most High. And he hath made me a father to Pharaoh, and lord of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt. Genesis 15:19. And Joseph said unto them, fear not, for am I in the place of the Most High? He knows that the Most High has established him, man. It says, but as for you, ye thought evil against me, but the Most High meant it unto good, to bring to pass, as it is this day, to save much people alive. This is our history. Israel wouldn't exist in the fashion it does if the Most High never set Joseph into that land to be leader, governor, all right, Pharaoh, to be able to allow Israel to come in during the time of famine. It's all set up in the Most High, with the Most High, man. Proverbs 16 and 9 and 9. A man's heart deviseth his way. All right, what does it mean to devise? Deviseth means indicative form of device. Okay. Deviseth. Let's see if I can get the definition. Deviseth. It's not giving me anything good. Deviseth. Okay, I'm not getting anything good from there. All right, but that would be that's good enough actually. Man's heart deviseth the way, man. Meaning you, from your day-to-day emotions, is what controls you. Your emotions are controlling in what routes you take. Pretty much a saying that my father used to tell me: your attitude determines your altitude. A lot of your emotions and your inner parts, your mind, decides on what, how you gonna live your life, man. What type of morals, integrity you have. That's all determined by how much wisdom you have, what's inside your head, man. All right, but it says, nevertheless, all right, regardless, the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand. So it doesn't matter how emotional a man is. If the Lord wants to preserve that man, he's going to. We say seek wisdom and seek and have the fear of the Lord sound in your inward parts, But the Most High is in control of it all in the end. That's why if a man can't understand it, the Lord didn't want him to. Now Proverbs 20 and 24 says, man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? You're not going to be able to understand your own way. You're not. Just like in the times we in now. Let me get some articles. Because we in some troublous times where America is transitioning out of power, man. All right. I wish I could flip this around. Like I said, this is pretty much the first time I'm using this, and I'm not liking how it's set up. But view on web, get you out of there. There we go. Trade war escalates as China says it will impose tariffs on 128 U.S. exports, including pork and fruit. Well, we're not gonna miss out on that pork. We're not. It's part of the laws, dietary laws of the Bible. If you follow them, if you choose to follow them, you're not supposed to eat swine's flesh, and many other abominable animals. So we won't miss the tariffs on the pork. But pork in price is going to rise because of China and fruit. Okay, now that's a trade war. This is an economic war, and only a country with strong economics can wage a war against a country like America. The Chinese government plans to immediately impose tariffs on 128 products, including pork and certain fruits, a direct response to President Trump's recent moves to pursue numerous trade restrictions against Beijing. There's an economic war going on right now with America and Beijing. America and China. Okay? That's where we at with this, man. Okay? Now, what happened with Wall Street? What happened with Wall Street? Let's see if I can get this article. Now, here's what's going on with Wall Street. It says Wall Street tumbles on tech sector. Trade war worries. Wall Street shares plunged on Monday as investors fled technology stocks amid resurgent trade war worries. So Wall Street is falling. A lot of these people are out there losing your money. Fearful. Feeling that squeeze, man. We've been in a kind of a boom, bullish economy lately where people's been able to make money off of Wall Street. But now it looks like it might be a time of clenching, man. Clenching those pockets. Where you're first losing money for the first time, maybe after investing for 10 years. It says that with key indexes trading below their 200-day moving averages, right? The first day of trading, the second quarter began with a broad sell-off, contracted in the technology and consumer discretionary sectors as losses by Amazon, Tesla, and Microsoft and others. It says, among others, took center stage from retaliatory trade measures China unveiled on Sunday. China coming back, man. They coming back to fight. They say you're not going to just drag our nation down. We're going to drag you down too with it. It's trying to slap those terrorists, man. So that's the time we in, man. We in a time where money's going to be tight for you Americans, and we in a time of a transition of power from something called bipolarity, from something called unipolarity, meaning one country has the main influence over the world, to bipolarity. Bipolarity. Okay, the weakening of the unipolar system. The Most High's over that, man. Most High is over all of this. Proverbs 21:30. There is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against the Lord. Okay? No wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against the Lord. That tells you alone that the Lord acts alone, man. He oversees, he overrules. When you have a judge in a court, if there's objections made by the different lawyers, the judge can overrule that objection, meaning sit down and shut up. And that's the sword that the Lord wields. That sit down, shut up, banging it. I overrule, banging the gavel, man. And that's what the Lord is going to do with America, man. He's going to overrule all its riches. He's going to overrule that. Okay? All its spoil that America took, the Lord's going to overrule that. He got the ability to do so. Isaiah 10:5. O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger, the staff in their hand is mine indignation. Meaning the Most High used the Assyrians to be a wrathful nation upon others, and mainly Israel, his chosen. It says, I will send him against a hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge, to take spoil, and to take the prey, and to tread them down like the mire of the streets. Most High sends nations against other nations. These tariffs is the Most High changing, overruling the will of man. Okay, these countries was just celebrating together. They got treaties together. They got pacts together. They do business together, and now that business is being shut down. The Most High is overruling that friendlyism out there amongst these nations. Isaiah 10:7 says, "Howbeit he meaneth not so, neither doth his heart think so, but it is in his heart to destroy and cut off nations, not a few." Most High is a vengeful power and a jealous power. Okay, look what he's done to his people, Israel, his chosen nation, man. He sent us into cargo slave ships. All right, he had the worst of the worst, Esau, our wicked brother, destroy us, man. And he's just about finished after about 1,000, after our fall from the Holy Roman Empire. We had just now seen the end, or drinking the final dregs of that cup of captivity, man, since our fall during the Dark Ages. Jeremiah 10:23, "O Lord, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps." The Most High overrules, man. You pray to the Most High and ask him to overrule in the best form possible by giving you mercy, granting mercy unto you, granting more faith unto you, more strength to endure, more passion, because he directs our steps. Without him, we cannot do what we want to do. John 7:30. Then they sought to take him, but no man laid hands on him, because his hour was not yet come. The Most High set an hour for Yahushua to be put on the cross, nailed to the cross, and pass into the spiritual world. The Most High set that time. And he also set the time for him to rise again on the third day, man. You see, it's all in the Most High's will, man. It says, this is jumping down, Acts 2:23. "Him being delivered by the determinate counsel and foreknowledge of the Most High, ye have taken in by wicked hands, have crucified and slain." Foreknowledge of the Most High. You see? Foreknowledge of the Most High. To know before it happens. The Most High has created the timeline, and everything is going to tick according to that timeline. Okay? Everything ticks according to that timeline, including Yahushua's return, which Yahushua doesn't know the time, nor the angels in heaven, nor man on earth, except the Most High. Alright? So when it comes down to all of these different things going on as far as nuclear arsenals, the time is going to come for that. Because the Most High is going to set it in their minds, no matter what peaceful talks and peace talks they have. He's going to set it in these kings' minds to press that button, okay, and detonate. And Lord willing, this video was edified and uploaded. All right. Until next time, stay strong. Pray to the Father that He answers your prayers and gives you diligence and faith, man. Shalom.